Everyone's talking about AI, but can you actually use it in your home fragrance business? So in the past, we have used AI in our home fragrance businesses and also here at the Home Fragrance Academy as well. And in this podcast, we're going to talk to you about what we have found works and what doesn't work.
So then you can use this advice to be able to use it in the best way possible to help your business without harming it at all.
Absolutely right. Welcome to the Home Fragrance Academy podcast. This is Together We Grow. And this is the podcast where we help home fragrance business owners start, launch, and scale their brands.
It certainly is. And we have loads of other information available on the homefragrance.academy as well, including learning packs. We've got all of our other episodes for our podcast as well. So make sure you head over there as well.
Absolutely right. This is something we love doing. We love chatting with home fragrance business owners and seeing where they're at in their business journey and seeing where we can help. I mean, we have quite a lot of experience. In 6 years, we built 3 home fragrance brands, £7.5 million in sales. We then sold that business, and this is now a passion of ours, isn't it? Helping other business owners do the same, whether they want to scale up and ultimately sell, or whether they just want to create an income from home. We are here to help you on that journey. We love doing it. And shall we dive into this episode? Because I think it's going to be an interesting one.
I think it is. It's a very relevant one, isn't it?
Let's go.
Okay, so we're on episode 22 now.
Yeah.
And we're talking about all things AI.
Absolutely. Now, AI, or artificial intelligence, has been around for years and years and years. I think there's a film from like 2001 or something called AI.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah. But it's in recent years, isn't it, where it's actually starting to become a bit more mainstream now and people are using it as tools. And towards the end of us at Cozy Aromas, we sort of started to discover it, mainly ChatGPT, which I think most people are aware of, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
And we started to use it as a tool. I think initially we did the same thing that what most people do when they first find it. They'll use it to write all of their social media posts. They'll use it to write their emails and all that kind of stuff. And then we quickly realised that you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, because you can spot a ChatGPT post or an email a mile off these days.
Especially in an established brand already.
Yeah.
We see that change over quite quickly and quite easy to identify, don't you?
Yeah, I think once you've been using AI for a little while now, you can really spot when other people are using it, unless it's been trained right. And that's a good thing about these chatbots as well, like ChatGPT. You can actually train it to understand your business, understand how you want to portray and how you want to talk to people, and it can do its best. It can't replace you, but it can certainly do its best. But ultimately, we use it as an assistant, don't we? We every day we use it for all different things, and that's what we're going to talk about here, isn't it? It's things that it can do and things that it can't do, in our experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So, firstly, let's talk about some of the things it can do, and I think it can do really well. So it helps you write better and write faster.
Yep. And it can help you with things like your product descriptions, for instance, because every product description you get from your supplier, you need to rewrite, obviously, so it's unique and it fits in with your brand. So that can help with that.
Exactly, yeah. And that's something that we've found really useful, actually, is how it can create first drafts of things, which you can then go in and tweak and change how you want. And ultimately, ChatGPT will the output it gives you will only be as good as the prompt that you give it.
Yeah.
So let's say you go to a fragrance or supplier's website. They've got their product description, their scent description. Don't just paste that and put it on your website, because over time it's going to harm your website because it's duplicate content, okay?
And Google will devalue that and de-rank it.
So what you should do is you should put this into ChatGPT as a prompt. And I would write something like, this is a fragrance oil description from my supplier's website. Paste that in. Underneath, rewrite it, but I want you to include bullet points to express that this is made from plant-based wax. How I also want you to tell me, and also say how long it lasts, and you put in how long it lasts, 10 hours, whatever it is. Give it some overall pointers on how to use the product as well, product description, the product as well. And then when you hit return, it's going to output exactly what you've said. So it's going to rewrite that product description, but it's also going to include these bullet points. And you could go one step further and say, I want you to write this as an inspirational paragraph. So just say, instead of just saying it smells like vanilla, it smells like lavender, it smells like whatever, I mean, I'm rubbish at doing this, but it smells like walking through a lavender field on a hot summer's day, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Really get across that message. That's the kind of thing that you can do very well with ChatGPT.
So turn 2 sentences into like a full paragraph story almost.
Exactly. And you can do that instantaneous. That's what it does really well. It can help you write product descriptions very easily and very quickly as well.
Yeah. So you can literally train it up to know what your brand is, what products you sell, who you sell them to, and what all the specifications are for your products. Like you said, like the plant-based wax, or how long do they last, how do you use them? And you can then just say, right, I need these all changed. So I need scent 1, scent 2, scent 3, and then put all of it in your product descriptions, and then it will shoot the whole lot out all at once.
Exactly.
And then you can go through and refine and edit anything that needs editing.
And then what you could do is you can say to it, write me 5 social media posts for this particular product. And then it will write 5 separate social media posts that you can batch up over time. Which leads me on to point 2, is batching social media content ideas. Now, you may or may not have done this, and this is the most basic thing you can do in ChatGPT. But if you gave it a prompt of, give me 30 Instagram post ideas for a luxury soil candle brand targeting busy mums who love self-care, that will, within 10 seconds, will give you 30 Instagram post ideas. Now I'm not saying you should do these all the time, because you've got to think it's not a marketing machine.
No.
It'll only output as good as what you input. Okay. So it doesn't know your audience properly or anything like that, but it will give you some ideas.
It's something for you to think, oh, hang on, I hadn't thought of that idea before. That's something that could work. And it just gives you like a spark of imagination sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that you can then be like, oh, I'm going to run with that one, but I don't like these 5, but I do like that one.
Yeah. If you've got an upcoming collection that you're launching, like a seasonal product, you can help it create your social media content for that launch. So you can say, I'm launching in 2 weeks' time. I want some social media posts to build hype, to sell the product, and then post-sale to thank people, and then actually try and sell some more stuff based on urgency. It will do the same thing. If you can really train it around your brand and your business and your products, it will output content that you can tweak, edit, and get right. Instead of just sitting there with a blank screen trying to write something, this will give you something that you can then tweak. You always want to tweak it and edit it, because it's never going to be perfect, but it will certainly give you a very good outline.
It will give you, like I said, something to sort of springboard from. And if you're hitting like a wall, you don't know what to post, asking for content ideas is a great idea, because you can't remember everything and you can't think of everything off the top of your head. So using it like that as almost like as a research assistant for ideas of what to post and different types of content you can post will, give you something to think about, so you can then make some notes and just get started.
Exactly. That's
That's something I find a lot when I speak to people. Who go, but I don't know what to post, and I do encounter that a lot.
Yeah. So use ChatGPT to come up with some ideas, and then use your own creative spark and imagination to turn those into actual reels and actual content. Now, something else that it's very useful for, which I've used it for on Home Fragrance Academy, is creating or helping to draft out email flows. So email flows are sequences of emails that are triggered based on what a customer does. So if a customer buys from you for the first time, they'll enter a sequence of emails. So they'll get one straight away thanking them. The following day they'll get one. 2 days later they'll get one. 3 days later. And the idea there is you nurture them to understand your brand, to fall in love with your brand, and then ultimately buy from you again. And then when they buy from you again, they go into a different sequence. It can help you map those out. So it can help tell you exactly what emails to include at each step. Now, again, and this, I think I'm going to say this for every single point here, it doesn't know your brand. You have to train it on your company and what your goals are, okay? And you'll notice that if you ask for these email flows, but you give it other prompts with it, how it will change, you know. And if you say you disagree with something, or if you question it, it will then most likely agree with you and then write something back. You see what I mean? So it is like even though it can give you some good ideas, it
doesn't give you a finished product.
It's very much influenced by what you say. So if it gives you 5 emails to put in a flow, but you say, hang on a minute, shouldn't I include this as well? It wouldn't say to you, no, you shouldn't include that because of this, this, this. It will say, very good point. This is how I can include that for you. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. You have to take it with a pinch of salt sometimes. It has to make sense to you.
Yeah. It is a robot at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is literally just a computer that will output whatever you ask it to output, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. But you can use it for those email flows. We did that all the time. But this is the key thing for me. This next point, there's 2 points here actually, but one of them is market research, and we found this so helpful for. And I wish we would have discovered this really when we had Cozy Aromas and we had our home fragrance business, because I think it would have been super helpful.
Yeah.
But doing market research, so you could ask ChatGPT. You could say, what questions do people ask about buying gifts for candle lovers?
Yeah, because if you know what questions people ask, you can answer them for them.
You can ask ChatGPT to come up with the answers for them.
Yeah.
And then you can customize those and create content around that. Okay, so you're doing, ChatGPT will do that customer research for you. Basically, it just scours the internet and it will give you results from that.
Yeah.
And then you can create content that you know people are asking. So you'd create a beautiful blog post, an in-depth blog post answering one of these questions. So then hopefully when people are searching for that on Google over time, that blog post will start to come up. You'll have links to your products in there. You'll get organic traffic. They'll be retargeted on your ads and hopefully they'll come and buy from you.
That makes complete sense, doesn't it? It's an easy way to scour the whole internet in seconds and bring back all of the relevant questions that people are asking there and then.
Or if you're targeting a younger audience, maybe you sell funky bath and body products and you're struggling to come up with ideas on what to post, just ask it what types of scents or what types of content are trending with Gen Z.
Yeah, that scours all the internet, but also all the social medias and everything as well, doesn't it? So it can see what's working and what people are engaging with.
Yeah. And it will tell you this is the type of content that you need to create to attract Gen Z. So what do? You create that type of content.
Yep.
It's such a good tool for that, you know. And the thing is though, you have to have that awareness and understanding of what to type in to get those answers. Because you could sit in front of ChatGPT, which could give you any answer you want. But unless you know what to put in, you're not going to get it back. So you have to really think about that as well.
The training side of things can take quite a while to get right, can't it?
It can help you name new products, or if you've got upcoming launches against seasonal ones, and just saying, instead of just calling it our Christmas collection, you could use ChatGPT to come up with some other ideas for it to make it more intriguing.
Make you stand out a little bit more. And what I found quite useful as well, obviously I use it quite a lot as well, I found that if I write something out, like I would write a product description, because I used to help with writing all of the descriptions and everything, didn't I? So in home fragrance brands, if I wrote a description, but I just wasn't happy with it, it wasn't quite what I was wanting, but I couldn't sort of put a pen to paper and work out how to change it, I'd put that into ChatGPT, say, this is what I've wrote so far, help me reword it. I want it to include these words, I want it to include these bullet points, and get across how long it lasts, etc. And I then would ask for a couple of options. So give me 3 ideas of how I can change it, and then that would give me 3 outputs. And then I can be like, okay, I like that bit from there, but I like that bit from the other one, and kind of amalgamate them until I got the perfect description.
Yeah, and when you put them together like that, and you think you've got that perfect description, you then put that into ChatGPT and say, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And then it will tell you. It'll probably say, that's really strong, it's excellent, but here are a few tweaks. Because that's what we see often, isn't it? And then you just keep refining it. But that's where it is so good, is that market research. I think what you have to bear in mind here is it's an assistant.
Yeah.
It's not going to replace your content writers, or it's not going to replace you with that creative spark, but it will give you ideas.
Yeah.
It will get you started, so then you can jump in and do some bits and pieces with it as well. Yeah. Now, the fifth point here on what it's good at and what it can do for you, and this, we both use this a lot, is troubleshooting. So if you're having difficulty doing something, or if you've got a particular question, this doesn't have to be in your business, this can be in your life. I was doing it the other day. Our mortgage deal is due to expire soon. So I was asking it, is this something I could do myself, or do I need a mortgage? Yeah. And it gives you all of that information, you know.
But we even did it about healthy takeaway choices, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And Wagamama, by the way, that's the healthy one.
Really nice.
But yeah, just troubleshooting. So if you're doing something in depth, or something you don't really understand, like maybe you're registering a domain name and you need to point the DNS settings to Shopify, or you need to include your MX records for your email, and you're not really sure what any of that means or how to do it, just ask ChatGPT. Tell it what it is you're trying to do and what systems you're using, etc., and it will give you step-by-step instructions. One thing to bear in mind, and I did find this as well, is that sometimes those instructions will be old. If the software in question has recently updated, it won't know about it just yet.
Yeah.
But it will certainly give you a step to
follow.
Yeah, just asking it questions to help you do stuff.
I did something very similar, because you were doing something on the website and you're like, oh, hang on, how do I do that? And I just sort of went into my chat and I was like, we've got this website, it's on Kajabi, it's here, it's there, this is what we want to do. And it gave me a list of things, of the steps to follow.
Shall I tell you something? Now, this is not home fragrance, but this was one of the most helpful things I have used ChatGPT for. Okay. And it was finding a destination to go on holiday.
Yes, it was actually, wasn't it?
So what I did was I said to ChatGPT, me and my wife, it's just us two. We want to go on holiday somewhere. These are the things we liked. And I just bullet pointed out. We like walks. We want it to be nice and sunny and warm. We like going for drinks in the afternoon. We like beachside restaurants, beachside bars, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Yeah. And I said, give me some ideas. I said one of the things was we want it to be relatively quiet. We don't want it to be full of families. We don't want it to be full of rowdy young people either. And it came up with some ideas, only 3 or 4. One of them was Kalamaki, which is in Zante, the Greek island. And we're actually booked it.
We have, yeah.
And in fact, by the time this podcast comes out, that's where we are right now.
Yeah, it would be.
So, you know, and we wouldn't have no idea about that place if it wasn't for ChatGPT.
No, because it can scour everything in the internet in seconds, and with the bullet points you put in saying that what we like, it can just present you with ideas. And
I said to it, I took it one step further and I said, okay, we're there for this many days. Put together an itinerary for us on what we can do, and it's done that as well.
Yep, so we've got an itinerary to follow as well.
Honestly, it's so good and so powerful when you think about it like that, and it'll give you ideas that maybe you haven't even thought of. So yeah, it's good, isn't it? We love it. So there you go. They are all the things that it's good at and what it can do for you. Now, just very quickly, there are a few things, of course, that it can't do, or not can't do, because it can, but I don't think you should use it for.
You shouldn't rely on it for everything.
And that's completely replacing you in terms of your content that you're outputting. Because you can spot, when you're used to ChatGPT, you can spot a ChatGPT post or an email a mile off, as I said earlier. It can come across as robotic.
Yep.
It doesn't have your personality, your spark. It doesn't have your story, your tone, that kind of thing. So
it can't replace you.
So just bear that in mind. Don't just copy and paste and use it word for word. You can really hyper train it so it can get very close, but just bear that in mind. Don't be lazy with it. Don't use it as a shortcut where you can just say, give me 5 posts, and you copy and paste those 5 posts, job done, because that won't have the effect you want. It will help you output lots of content, but that content probably won't reflect you in the best light. So that's something to think about.
It's no good putting out the content if it's not relevant to you, to your brand, and to your products, and to your customers.
It's like, I mean, it does come across as quite robotic, and your customers will buy from humans, not robots. So The other thing, of course, is the more manual stuff like photography, videos, real life content. It can't do any of that, I'm afraid. You are going to have to get up and actually do some stuff.
It can't go live for you and
No.
talk to your customers in a face-to-face way.
No, but what it can do is it can help you go live. It can help you with things to talk about. It can help with your product photography. It can give you ideas on how to position things, on what to take, all that kind of stuff. And the other thing it can't do is it can't build relationships with people. So you can't have those real life engagements, which is what you should be doing all the time. You don't want it. It can't DM people from you. If it can, you don't want to be doing that.
No, don't use that.
You need to still be out there engaging and doing all of this hands-on stuff. Okay, use AI, specifically ChatGPT in this case, as an assistant to assist you, and it is the best performing, lowest paid assistant in the world.
It certainly is.
Okay, it will help you complete tasks so much faster. It will help get your mind straight, get you thinking about things you need to be thinking about. You can ask it questions at every step of your business, not just the day-to-day stuff, but even like mindset. Like you can get it to help you plan out the next 3 years, revenue wise, goals, targets, mindset. It can coach you. It can do all sorts of things.
It can be really useful in that sort of respect because it can help you put out all your tasks that you need to do. I need to complete all of these this week. I need some help to structure it.
Yeah.
And then it can help you with filling out a structure.
Yeah, exactly. So if we were to start another candle brand today, here are a couple of points that I would particularly use it for. I don't know if you've got some others. So I would use it to map out my flows, my email flows, using ChatGPT, as I mentioned earlier. Definitely. I mean, that's point number one because they are vital for retention. I would really help it do that. I would ask it to give me 10 blog post ideas based around the research I've done on what people are asking for and create content around that. I would use ChatGPT to come up with those ideas, but also actually create the structure of the blogs and even write them. But of course, going in there, training it to write in my tone, but then tweaking it and rewriting paragraphs or whatever needs doing there. It will help me create Instagram captions much faster. That's the go-to. You'll create your reel, you'll create your carousel, whatever it is, but it can create some really nice. It can write the captions for you. And here's another good tool. You can use it to summarize customer testimonials, customer reviews. So then you can say, okay, look, these are all my customer reviews. What are the common positives? What are the common, but more importantly, what's the common negatives here?
So you can improve them.
So you can focus on improving them.
That's really useful, actually. I hadn't thought about that one.
No, and I would use it for ongoing research and troubleshooting. I do that all the time because it's just so good, isn't it?
What I would use it on, because I did right towards the end of our home fragrance journey, I did use it as it was sort of starting to become mainstream. I would use it for all of the research and all of the writings that I would create and do for my product launches. So I would research what's upcoming, what trends are coming out in certain seasons, and then use that research obviously with the suppliers and the manufacturers. And then once I'd got all of my oils in and I was happy with them and they'd all passed their tests, I would then use that as to write my descriptions and the story for the whole product launch. And obviously train it up and edit it where necessary, but that would have saved me very many hours.
Yeah, it would. So there you go. Ultimately, it's an assistant. Use it as that. Use it as something to give you ideas, to give you feedback, to do some research for you. But try not to use it to replace your writing entirely, because
it can't replace you.
It can't replace you, and it won't have the effects you want it to. But yeah, ChatGPT is the one we use. There's others. You've got Gemini, which is from Google. Canva has its own AI now to help you with doing design work. I mean, they're just brilliant, aren't they?
They certainly are. Just make sure that you train it, obviously, and don't allow it to replace you. In one of our learning packs here at the Home Fragrance Academy, it's called Launch Your Brand in 30 Days. And guess what that will help you do? I wonder. Yeah.
And within there, there's lots of different stuff. There's courses, there's videos, there's downloadable resources, templates, everything you need to launch your brand. But one part of that is actually we've created a document which gives you ChatGPT prompts that you can put into ChatGPT to help you create really effective product descriptions, scent descriptions. So head over there, get that kit, and then you can launch a brand, but also you can write these lovely descriptions as well. I think that's it for this podcast episode. That was interesting. I really enjoyed talking about that, actually.
That was interesting, that one. So it's hyper relevant to people right now and gets across like all pros and cons of it. Really,
exactly. There we go. Thanks everybody for listening to podcast episode 2. We'd love it if you left us a review on whichever platform you're listening to, because that really does help us.
It certainly does. And don't forget, if you can, let us know what you would like us to discuss in future episodes.
Absolutely right.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.